Good afternoon. This is Robert Chappell, Executive Editor, Madison365, with your daily news update. Um, Today is Tuesday, August 25th, it must be. Sorry, August 25th. Time is meaningless. Have I mentioned that before? Um, so today we'll give a real quick update on the situation in Kenosha and in Madison in response to the shooting of Jacob Blake. He is his father told the Chicago Sun-Times this morning that he is paralyzed from the waist down. You will remember he was shot in the back by a police officer on Sunday at least 7 times. He I haven't done any reporting on this yet because there's just now, like literally right now, a press conference happening with the family and their attorney. But apparently his spine was severed. He got shot in the arm. His stomach was perforated, and they had to remove most of his small and large intestines. So he's in pretty rough shape, but he was conscious and was talking, and is still going through surgeries. So that's the condition that he's in. The condition of the city of Kenosha is it seems to be pretty rough. It is buildings were burned, government buildings were burned. A used car lot was destroyed. Buildings adjacent to county buildings, or government buildings, were destroyed. It seemed as if there were several hundred people out last night. Our reporter, Kanola Phillips, was on the ground in Kenosha, and if you go to Madison365.org right now, you can see her reporting. She didn't stay for the worst of it. She was there a little earlier, actually talked to some of Mr. Blake's neighbors, got kind of a sense of what they're feeling. And talked to some of the protesters that were there earlier in the day, or in the evening, who were doing that more sort of march and chant kind of protests, not so much the damaged buildings chant and chant thing. But her reporting is very good. Her pictures are very good. So take a look at that one every minute. Fatima Cisse was here in Madison, monitoring the situation, which also got a little violent. It didn't. There were windows broken last night at several businesses, and there were fires set, but there weren't any buildings really burned down. There was a fire set at the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce building on East Washington that just didn't get past the doorway. It was just a little bit of damage around the door. But there were dumpsters set on fire, trash cans set on fire, sort of gasoline fire set in the streets, but nothing damaged significantly other than windows. Right? There was tear gas deployed. Fatima, my reporter, got caught up in that, which, if you've been following this, if you've been following me and our coverage, you remember that happened to me too a couple months ago. So I had to talk her through that. She texted me about 1 a.m. Oh, it stings. And I said, I know, it'll take 5 minutes, it'll be okay. But she got some great photos, and her story recapping those protests is up now at Madison365.org. There's a vigil tonight for Jacob, and then I would anticipate more protests tonight. I don't know what character they're going to take on. It'll be interesting to see. We'll be keeping an eye on that. I would expect more protests in Kenosha. The protests in Kenosha do not appear to be organized by any particular organization. I don't know Kenosha very well. I don't know the Kenosha Black community real well. So I don't know if there's a Kenosha equivalent to like the Freedom Inc. or Urban Triage to sort of handle and organize these protests. It's the way they look to me from here is sort of raw emotion without an organization that's sort of like guiding them, which is not a criticism at all. I'm describing um, the sort of a difference between Madison and Kenosha. Um, Sorry if I hung up there for a second. I seem to be having some difficulty, some technical difficulty. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't lose you too much there. Okay, so I think we're back. So we'll get right into COVID numbers right now. The news today on the coronavirus situation is not bad, not great. Not There were more tests done today, almost 10,000 tests, which is good. Um, Yesterday was about 4,800, so that ramping up is really good news. We're at 6.4% of those tests came back positive, which is better. Yesterday was 9.3. Over the weekend it was over 10, so that's great that that's down to 6.4. Still, you'd rather keep going down and stay there, but what we've been seeing is that on the weekends it goes up and then kind of drifts back down to 5 or 6, and then it spikes again on the weekend. And as a result, our 7-day average on the percentage of tests has been 8.16%. In the past 2 weeks has been 8.23%. But you take over 8% for 2 weeks, that's terrible. That's really bad. Sorry if I hung up on you again for a second there. I don't know what's happening with my Wi-Fi, but we soldier on. Okay, so there's 638 positive tests total today. That brings our total to 71,492. About 7,400 of those are considered active, which continues to go down. That's very good. Bad news on the fatalities. We had 13 fatalities reported today. 3 in Milwaukee County, 2 in Outagamie County, and then 1 each in Adams, Pierce, Portage, Racine, St. Croix, Walworth, Waukesha, and Winnebago counties. So you're starting to see, not starting to see, we have been seeing those rural counties like Adams and Pierce, starting to see fatalities. We're averaging 6 deaths per day. Remember we had 0 deaths reported the last couple of days. So, and again, we know that there's at least one more fatality that has been reported in the media that we haven't seen in the data yet, and that's the Dane County Sheriff's deputy who died of COVID in the line of duty. We will see that his death report. We've seen it reported, but we'll see it reported as a data point in the next few days, I'm sure. Our 7-day average of new cases now is 666. 14-day average of new cases is 710. And those are lower than they would have been just because those past several days we had so few tests. And so we had in the 400 and 500 range for a couple of days there because of the low number of tests. A few localities to talk about. Milwaukee County today, 115 new cases and 10.8% positive. Brown County, again, bad day for them, 105 new cases, so close behind Milwaukee County, 12.5% positives. A few other spots to pay attention to. The local spots are, for the most part, the percentages are okay. Outagamie County, 30 cases, 8.5% positive. Ozaukee County, 13 cases, 13.4% positive. Sheboygan County, 23 cases, 18% positive. Walworth County, 19 cases, 10.86% positive. Washington County, 22 cases, 22% positive. And then the rest of them are pretty. Even if they have higher case counts, the percentages are better. Dane County, 44 cases, 3% positive tests. Dodge County, 12 cases, 5.6% positive. Fond du Lac County, 22 cases, 4.4% positive. Kenosha County, 20 cases, 2.6% positive. La Crosse County, 13 cases, 6.2% positive. Manitowoc County, notice Manitowoc County and Sheboygan County are always on this list at the same time. Manitowoc County, 11 cases, 5% positive. Outagamie County, 30 cases, 8.5% positive, so just a little bit higher than the state average. Portage County, 12 cases, 6.2% positive. Racine County, 27 cases, 5% positive, 5.1%, I guess. Rock County, 11 cases, 6.2% positive. And then finally, Waukesha County, 19 cases, 2.9% positive. Winnebago County, 12 cases, 3% positive. So most of the, I know that's a lot of numbers I throw at you, but the gist of it is most of the local counties had percentage rates that were below the state average, and that's good. Even those that had more than 10 new cases had lower case percentages. However, Milwaukee and Brown County were both high, and they both had a lot of cases as well, so that kind of drives the whole state a little bit higher. Hospitalizations are up again today, 354 currently hospitalized. That number by itself is not bad. Still have plenty of hospital capacity. We're not worried about overwhelming the hospitals yet. But that is 17 more than yesterday, but 26 fewer than a week ago. So it is kind of mixed bag there. 133 of those are in ICU. That's 12 more than Monday. Now, if the Latino disparity today is not great, 15% of today's new cases are Latino. Latinos make up 7% of the population, so that's about double. So the total cases are still 21% Latino, which means if you're Latino, you're 3 times as likely to get this, which is not good, but it's better than it was. 13% of all cases are Black, which is the bit better than it was, but still you're about twice as likely to get COVID if you're Black than if you're white. Let's talk rate of transmission. It's about the same as yesterday. It's 1.12 today. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are 7th highest in the nation. Better than yesterday. We were 5th. So what that means is 1.12 means if you have 100 people who are infected, statistically speaking, on average, those 100 people will pass the virus on to 112 other people. So each round of infection will grow by 12% and be larger than the previous round, which means that the virus will continue to spread faster and faster. We want to get that back under control, back under 1. And we do that through our masks and our social distancing and all that stuff. There is a lawsuit. I don't know a lot about it. I just saw the headline or the announcement pop up earlier today, and I've been busy on Kenosha stuff. So there is a conservative group. It's not the legislature, but it's a conservative group of some kind. It's basically suing to end the mandated mask order. I don't know how far that will go, but we will keep you apprised of that either way. And that's really all I have for you today. Let's see. Oh, Peggy has a question. Will the results of the testing that UW does be included with the state and county reports? Yes, it will. That's a great question. And I'm glad you asked it, because I actually thought to mention that today and then forgot. So thank you, Peggy, for asking that. We know that the University of Wisconsin has said that they're going to test everybody multiple times a week, and I don't remember exactly what they have committed to. Problem is, it's going to be hard to compel students to be tested, I think. Right? But they'll try. So I wouldn't be surprised if once classes start, is it next week? Did they start next week already? I think it might be. I think it might be next week. Holy cow. When students arrive this week and classes start next week, I would expect to see that state and Dane County test number go really high at first, just as UW just tries to test everybody they possibly can. In addition, a lot of school systems that are opening have said, who knows if they actually have the capacity to do it, but they're also going to try to test as many people as they can, as often as they can. So I would expect the test numbers to actually go up just based on that, because we know that those tests will, in fact, be reported to the state. Exactly how they got reported and what the lag time is as they get reported, as it'll take a little bit for them to ramp up and figure out how to do the data. So it might be like they do just UW by itself does 5,000 tests on Monday, but they don't show up in the data till Wednesday or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And if that happens, it's not deceit. It's just a lot of data to enter, right? So the short answer is yes. We will know. We won't know exactly necessarily how many are connected to UW, but we will know. We will notice a testing increase. I would hope that if there are a big number of cases that pop up at UW, that they will make that publicly known. Okay. All right. Great question, Peggy. Thank you. I appreciate your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. We are taking a little family vacation, but I'll be keeping you up to date. I'll be it's not entirely a vacation. I'll be working near a beach. That's how I will phrase it. So I'll keep coming to you daily with these updates, but my surroundings will look different. Okay. Thank you again for your attention. We will see you again tomorrow. Enjoy your evening.